As I was going to meet my ex-husband to pick up my son, I wrapped the corner and saw that Mr. Cherry had a man and a woman laid in the road at gunpoint, holding them down. The man was talking to him, I guess trying to tell his side of the story, and Mr. Cherry was telling him to get down or he would shoot. The man finally laid down, and once I seen that he had it under control, I came up to see what I could do. I heard the baby crying in the car up ahead, so I went and got the baby out. He was 8 months old, and I held him. The mother was just drenched in blood, so I went to see if I needed to help her out, and I talked to her and waited on the authorities to show up. Yeah, I had the baby sitting in front of his mom where she could see him and to kind of keep her calm. She was concerned for him, and she had called her mother to come and pick him up and wanted to make sure that he was taken care of, and was asking me, please take care of my son, please take care of my son. So I did.
What they said, Mr. Cherry said that basically he came up, and what did he tell you?
When Mr. Cherry pulled up, he said that he saw the man sitting on top of the woman in the middle of the road and was stabbing her repeatedly. So he got out, and at first the man was not going to get off of his wife. And when he pulled the gun, the man then got off of her and moved to the side and eventually got down.
Was she hurt pretty bad? Did she say much at all, or said she was talking to her mother?
Yeah, she was crying. She was telling her mother that she didn't think she was going to make it, that she didn't feel good. Like there was blood coming from everywhere. The stab wounds were. She had one in her back that was really deep. Her shoulder was bleeding. She had blood coming from her head as well. So she was hurt really bad. She was face down whenever I got here. I think the way that it looked, and from what she was saying, he had drug her out of her vehicle and he got on top of her with her belly down.
Did you see the knife? What kind of knife?
Yeah, it was a fixed blade knife. It was probably, the blade itself was 4 inches at least, I would think, probably an inch wide.
What about the guy? Did he say anything afterwards?
He was so calm. He acted like someone else had did it. He was concerned for his wife, telling me how bad she was hurt. He was concerned for his son, asking me to go help him and take care of him. And then once I got the baby out, he was asking me to please put the baby by his mother because she was scared and worried about him. But he was so relaxed about everything. You would have never thought that he had just did that to her.
How did he react once the authorities got here?
He was calm and quiet. They picked him up and he answered some of their questions, and they put him in the back of the vehicle. He never resisted or anything. Like I said, you would have never thought he was the one that would have did that to her.
So EMS picked her up here, or they life flighted her from here?
Yes, sir. They picked her up from here, took her to Cleveland Hospital, and then they life flighted her from there. And she went to, I'm assuming, Houston. I talked to the parents yesterday, and they were very grateful that Mr. Cherry had stopped and saved her, and that I had helped the baby, and they expressed that over and over again. Her young brother came out, and he was very grateful as well, and they had taken the baby with them to take him home and take care of him, and I'm sure go take care of her.
Okay, first of all, your name?
Gary.
Cherry?
Cherry.
Tell me, give me a rundown yesterday morning, starting out, left the house, give me a rundown, basically the whole thing down the line.
I was leaving the house going to see my uncle, and I hit 1010 off right there, went on 105 and rounded the corner, and there was 2 people in the middle of the road. One of them was stabbing each other. And come out of the truck with my gun, and then the man didn't stop when I had him stopped. I was about 20 yards away from him and didn't stop till I hollered. Then he got up and came toward me, and that's when I drawed my gun. Told him to get on the ground. When he went on the ground, I called 911.
What did he say? Anything? Did he say anything to you, or?
No.
Just what about the woman? What kind of shape was she? Look pretty bad.
She was in bad shape. She lost a lot of blood.
What about when Kristen showed up on there?
She came up after I got him on the ground, and she came up and asked for to do some assistance. And there was a baby in the car, so she went to see the baby.
What about what sheriff's department? What were they thinking of the whole thing? What did they?
They were glad I showed up when I did.
Have you talked to the family at all since then? Or?
Her father called me yesterday morning and told me she's going to be okay.